This video demonstrates how to enter a conditional survey in the Best Idea platform. When publishing a conditional survey, you can choose to publish it individually or as part of a team. Everything that is published as a team by any one of the team members will automatically generate a request to the other members to confirm the publication. To publish as part of a team, just check the Publish as Team checkbox, which you can see is located just below the Use Model link and the Instructions buttons. And then, the drop-down below it allows you to choose the team that will publish this survey. Conversely, if you want to publish the survey individually, just take off the checkmark. Next, start entering directly the various fields, among which those with an asterisk are required for your survey to be published. Start by selecting from the Who will be your audience, and there are two possibilities. Enter an email list, which you will be able to do at the end of the compilation of this form. In this case, you will get a very simple report of the percentages of the answers, without any possibility of filtering the results. Be careful that in accordance with the privacy policy you need to have obtained authorization to contact people by email if they are not registered on the platform. Enter, through the drop-down menu, one of the groups to which you belong or create one directly by clicking on the Create One button. Next, you have to enter the conditional survey title, which is the only mandatory text. In this example, write Conditional Survey Tutorial. And that is what will be seen by your audience. While not mandatory, the description field below it is very important for people to understand what your conditional survey is about and its parameters. Select the macro category, the category and subcategory from the drop-downs. If needed, you can find the list of existing categories and suggest a new category. You are now ready to add the first question. In this example, to make the conditional survey system easier to understand, we immediately add the second and third questions. Fill in the title field and the description of the first question. At this point, you have to decide the type of answers, whether textual or numerical. This time, leave Textual Answers selected, and you find the first field, in which you enter a first possible option. The next field is a contextual drop-down menu which will indicate what will happen if the respondent chooses that particular answer. Go the next question. End the survey, poll. Go to question 2. Go to question 3. The same type of conditional behavior is available for the other questions. As you can see, once you have filled in all the questions, you can go back to the first question and vary the question that will be presented next depending upon the respondent's choice to prior questions in the survey. To avoid an endless loop, if the respondent has already answered the question that would follow, that question will not be asked again and the survey will terminate. Then there is the Score field, which is optional, but allows to assign a value if the respondent selects this answer. This is useful if the survey is, for example, a test for evaluating the skills of a person or a test for the psychological evaluation. The fields for the text of the various answer choices will be displayed along with Add and Remove buttons. At this point, you can already fill in the third field with the score for each answer, which you will need to automatically obtain an average value of all the answers given by that voter and across all the voters as well. You can also choose to upload one or more files, by selection or drag and drop. And/or include a link to a video on YouTube or another source, for instance to a video you have uploaded to describe the survey more fully. Next, let's continue with the second question, which in our example was created earlier. This time, click on Numeric Answers, and the 8 default possible answer choices from 3 to 10 are presented automatically. Invited participants will see these options in table form. This format is convenient for getting an evaluation score by the reviewers, for instance to measure satisfaction for a course they took or other product, service they used. The third field, the Score, is the actual score assigned to the response value, contained in the first field, which can be totally different. You can then go on to the third question, and set it up according to one of the two procedures already seen. One important point is that you can change the order of the questions simply by dragging them to another location. It is easier to do so if you collapse them first by clicking on this triangle. And then drag them where you want. And you can also delete a question if you change your mind. At this point, you can enter the start and end dates of the voting window. But as always, you can stop the voting process early if you want to. This you can do by clicking the Stop Voting button that you will find inside the rectangle of My Conditional Survey by going to My Profile, Publications, Survey. You also have the option to click on the Promote Your Publication checkbox to make it more visible, which makes sense if your audience group includes people who are also part of other groups and hence may receive a number of surveys. The next checkbox can be checked, but should be disabled for sensitive topics, political, religious, personal views, so that the voters' evaluation algorithms will not be in effect for this vote. Since this type of survey can also be used to take quizzes or assessment of skills tests, you will find an additional checkbox that allows you to extract a complete report on the answers of the examinee, and not just the total score. To save this conditional survey as a model for later use, just click the Save as Model checkbox. You can also suggest it as a model to the site manager, who may decide to make it available to other users as well. You can now publish your conditional survey or save it as a draft to be published later. If you save it as a draft, then you find it later by clicking on the My Profile icon. Then on Drafts, Surveys. You can get an Excel scheme downloaded to your computer to check if all expected jumps take place as you want them to. You can then click on Edit Draft of your conditional survey. If you click on Publish Now, your survey will then immediately appear on your target audience homepage. Now, we show what Tim, a member of your audience group, sees when he logs in. Tim sees the conditional survey rectangle, and upon selecting it, the various questions appear and he can progressively answer them all. We are now back on your screen. You can retrieve the conditional survey you have published by clicking on My Profile, Publications, Surveys. As you can see, now there are many buttons present in the survey rectangle. Edit Publication. To edit your survey. Hide Publication. To hide it, maybe just temporarily. Stop Voting. To stop the voting at an earlier time than the one you had originally set up, if you so desire. The Download Scheme button, which we already mentioned earlier, allows you to download the Excel schema to check if all jumps are as expected. After the voting period has ended or after you have clicked the Stop Voting button, you have the following additional capabilities. Download Certificate. To obtain the certificate, which contains the code to verify its authenticity, of the result of your survey, i.e. the number of voters. See Statistics, to take you to the link where you see the complete statistics of your conditional survey.